Hi, I'm Audrey, and I'm addicted to Harry Potter.
Hi, I'm Ashley. I'm addicted to a Harry Potter musical.
Let's compare that!
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to be continuing our talk of a Harry Potter versus a Harry Potter musical. And our last video we talked more about the characters and how they're different. Today we're going to talk more of the plot and how it differs. So if you want to hear about characters, go to the last video.
Alright, so we are just going to take one thing from each movie and focus on how it compares to the things in the play. The thing that we chose from the first movie is the relationship between Quirrell and Voldemort, which we also did talk about in our last video. Basically, in the movie, they are both completely evil. Quirrell's main goal is to bring Voldemort back to life so that Voldemort can complete his main goal of taking over the world and killing everyone, enslaving everyone. Basically, evil things.
And basically, Quirrell's okay with whatever it takes to get there. In the play, Quirrell is a very interesting character as he's basically a good guy who's just siding with Voldemort and with their relationship being what it is and how it's such a good relationship and a caring relationship. Quirrell's willing to do whatever Voldemort wants of him because he really honestly cares for him. So there's a point where they have a duet together, and Voldemort's talking about when he rules the world, he's gonna destroy everything basically. And Quirrell talks about wanting to plant flowers and make the world beautiful, which doesn't really sync up with what his goal is in life.
Yeah, I absolutely love that song because it is hilarious to watch because they pitch the two in contrast to each other, the evil and the good, and yet they're on the same side. So in the second movie, very obvious one, we picked that it is their second year. They are 12 years old, and that was reflected in the play also.
Yeah, in the play, it is their second year. They kind of skip over the first year, so it's just their second year. And an interesting thing, though, is that these are college students doing this play. So it's written by college students and performed by college students. So you kind of forget a lot of the time that this is supposed to be 12-year-olds until they kind of point it out to you. Because at times they're doing things that are very much more mature than 12-year-olds should be doing. So in the movies, I think they did a better job at staying true to the 12-year-old, being a 12-year-old.
And they were working with actual 12-years. So
yeah, instead of college students. So it's college-age 12-year-olds, which is kind of impossible, but an interesting thing to see.
Yeah, for sure. So the third movie, we focused on another relationship, this time between Hermione and Malfoy. And this is an interesting one because in the movie, Malfoy genuinely does not like Hermione. He calls her names and he means it. And he is a genuinely bad person. She gets upset and she punches him. He deserves it. So
yeah, and nobody feels bad. Like, it was my favorite scene in the movie, and all the movies probably, of her just straight up punching him and he's not expecting it. In the play, Draco doesn't mean what he's saying. He actually has a crush on Hermione, and there's a part of him that feels that it's wrong, like he shouldn't be feeling that way, just because he's supposed to be the bad guy and he's not supposed to like her. So he hides that by being evil or mean to them.
The major movie that is represented in the play is the fourth movie, and so we've got a couple things from that one that we want to talk about. First of all is the Triwizard Tournament, which is a big competition between several different schools, including Hogwarts, where they do several dangerous tasks, such as fighting dragons. And that's really represented as the plot.
Yeah, that's the biggest part of the play is that plot point. They use the Triwizard Tournament instead of the House Cup. They're changing it up this year, so to speak, is how Professor Quirrell puts it when he tells the students they're doing it. And so you see the first task of them fighting the dragons, and it's very comedic in the fact of the four competitors, since it's the houses against each other. The first three contestants, or participants, have Puff the Magic Dragon, the Reluctant Dragon, and the Imaginary Dragon as the dragons they have to face. So all cute, lovable characters from our childhood. Then comes Harry, who gets the Hungarian Horntail, the most terrifying thing you've ever seen as Dumbledore play.
Yes, and for sure that is also the dragon he had in the play. And so that's the one true thing they took from that.
Yeah.
Also in the movie, they have kind of a break from the competition and the stress, where they have a ball, the Yule Ball. They just dance, they have a good time. That's all it is in the movie. In the play, it has a lot more significance.
The most significant part that happens is that Harry touches the portkey that takes him to the graveyard, which, if you know the movie, is very, very significant and important.
Correct, because in the graveyard, Voldemort is brought back to life by his followers, and just as in the movie, the play brings Voldemort back to life in that graveyard.
Yeah, the interesting thing, though, is in the movie, it's not from the Yule Ball. It's from the maze that is the third and final task.
Right, so the play is, in essence, combining things to save time. They take a lot of things from the fourth book and turn them into the play. However, there are some of the books and movies that they do not take very much from. One being the fifth movie, we could hardly find anything, but one thing that we did find is reference to the Order of the Phoenix. The Order of the Phoenix in the movies is this secret society that is created to fight the Dark Lord, Voldemort, when he returns.
And in the play, you don't really see any of them very much. You see Molly Weasley, who's Ron and Ginny's mom, and that's pretty much it, to be honest. You hear a lot of them mentioned, but if you want to see more Order of the Phoenix plot and characters, you should check out the sequel play, which is more of a prequel called A Harry Potter Sequel, and we'll put the link for that down below. It's also by Starkid, and it's pretty good.
In case you didn't know, in the sixth movie, Dumbledore dies. Snape actually kills Dumbledore.
What?
Yeah.
Are you kidding? Just kidding, I knew that.
Because in the play, Dumbledore also dies.
He does. However, the play does a very interesting thing. They do have Snape kill Dumbledore, but in the end, you find out Dumbledore didn't really die. I think Starkid, as a group, didn't really want to kill anybody, which I admire them for.
Finally, the seventh movie, which is actually two movies, but we're going to be talking about them together. The first thing we're going to talk about from the seventh movie is the Horcruxes, which are the parts of Voldemort's soul that he has split, which Harry, Ron, Hermione have to destroy before Voldemort can actually be killed. In the movie, there is actually 6 of them. Dumbledore has destroyed one already, and they have quite a task pretty much all through the seventh movie of finding all of those Horcruxes to destroy.
Yeah, they have to go everywhere. Okay, not everywhere, but
a lot of places.
Pretty out there places. Whereas in the play, Dumbledore taking care of all but 2 of them. One of them being the one that Voldemort unknowingly made of Harry, which is true in the movies as well. But they also have a very convenient device called a Horcrux-seeking medallion. So basically, it's just this necklace that Harry walks around with and goes, is this a Horcrux? Nope. Okay, is this? Is this? Basically, just to figure out what it is, and it's way too convenient to have been used in the movies because it's just kind of ridiculous. But that's why it works in the play, because it's so out there, and this is already a play that's out there, that it just all works together.
Yeah. The second big thing from the movies, which is the biggest thing of the entire series, is that Voldemort finally dies. And that is the wrap-up for the, it's what everyone has been waiting for the entire time, is for Harry to finally kill Voldemort.
It's like the breath of relief of it's finally completely over. It's not like in the second movie where it was just like a projection of himself in a Horcrux. It's Voldemort is dead.
Mm-hmm.
And the play is not so simple. Like I said, they didn't want to kill anybody. So it does seem like Voldemort is dead. However, Quirrell is released from Azkaban, where he was put for killing a student. And he's told upon his release that Voldemort's dead. And for most people that would make them happy, but he loved Voldemort, so he's really upset. And then all of a sudden, here comes Voldemort as like this kind of like a ghost kind of thing, and he reattaches himself to Quirrell so they can live out the rest of their lives together.
Happily ever after.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that was what we had of the connections. So we will also have a link below to a Harry Potter musical, so you can check it out and see what we were actually talking about. So check out our next video when it comes out.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
Bye!